Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something that is just deeply, deeply personal for a lot of us. The collision between our most private mental health struggles and the rapidly advancing world of artificial intelligence. We've all felt the heavy weight of the modern world, right? And we know the global mental health crisis is just immense. But how we cope, and exactly who we turn to for help, well, that's fundamentally shifting right before our eyes. Picture this everyday scenario. It's 2 a.m. You're a college student, just staring blankly at the ceiling. You are absolutely drowning in exam pressure, and on top of that, your bank account is practically empty. That financial stress? It's a literal, physical weight on your chest. You know you need help, but you definitely can't afford a therapist. And even if you could, the wait list at the campus clinic is like 3 months long. So in that dark, incredibly isolating moment, when the rest of the world is fast asleep, who do you actually talk to?
Okay, let's dive into this. According to a nationally representative survey cited in a SAMHSA report, a staggering 32% of U.S. adults reported using an AI chatbot for health information in the past year. That's almost a third of us, and a massive chunk of that is specifically for mental health support. So why are people doing this? Well, because when human help is out of reach, AI basically becomes this 24/7, judgment-free alternative. It's unburdened by cost, there are absolutely no waiting lists, and it doesn't judge you for your intrusive thoughts. It's just right there in your pocket, ready to respond the second you hit send.
Section 1. 3 Ways AI Actually Helps. A comprehensive review by the CME Group outlines a really fascinating continuum of care built on a tripartite framework that's detection, intervention, and progress monitoring. Think about it exactly like your smartphone. Your phone is constantly monitoring its own battery life in the background, right? It detects when the battery is getting dangerously low, it intervenes by prompting you to switch to low power mode, and then it monitors the charge as it goes back up. Well, AI is beginning to do something very similar, but for human well-being. It can take data from your smartwatch or even your typing patterns to detect a sudden drop in mood, intervene with a helpful coping strategy, and then monitor your progress over time. A key part of all this ongoing monitoring is a concept called ecological momentary assessment, or EMA for short. Now, I know that sounds highly technical, but let me put it this way. Imagine getting a quick, caring text from a really good friend right in the middle of a chaotic workday, just asking, "Hey, how are you holding up?" EMA does basically exactly that. It routinely pings your phone with brief surveys to capture your mood and your symptoms in real time, right in your natural environment. The AI then analyzes this continuous stream of data to spot the early warning signs of a depressive dip way before a full-blown crisis even happens.
Section 2. Real results through a case study.
And this brilliantly illustrates what happens when we put this into practice. To see if talking to a machine actually helps, researchers ran a trial on university students dealing with heavy financial stress. They used a culturally adapted, cognitive behavioral therapy-based AI chatbot. Over just 7 consecutive days, 100 Chinese university students interacted with this app. The chatbot actually taught them CBT principles, helped them reframe their negative thoughts, and even guided them through deep breathing exercises whenever they typed that they were feeling anxious. The results were honestly incredible. There were significant reductions in both depression and loneliness, especially for those students who reported high financial stress. It really proves that this tech can provide accessible, effective, and immediate relief to people who are struggling right now.
Section 3. The complication, risks and hallucinations.
As incredible as those results are, we have to remember that when we're dealing with human psychology and fragile emotional states, the stakes are just incredibly high. One of the most dangerous complications is something known as an AI hallucination. Think of a hallucinating AI like a well-meaning but totally confused friend who gives you terrible, potentially harmful advice, but with absolute, unwavering confidence. Because these AI systems are really just predicting the next most likely word based on patterns they've learned, they can confidently generate completely false information. In a mental health context, the SAMHSA report specifically warns that an AI might invent therapeutic techniques that sound highly plausible, but are actually contraindicated and harmful for the user. Or worse, it might completely fabricate clinical citations that look entirely real to a vulnerable patient desperately seeking answers. So the crucial point here is that we absolutely cannot treat all AI tools the same. SAMHSA provides a really great framework for understanding this exact risk. On one side, we have low-risk applications. These are things that are easy to automate safely, like drafting clinical notes or scheduling appointments. If the AI makes a typo there, a human doctor just reviews it and catches it before any real harm is done. But on the other side, we have high-risk applications, like open-ended therapeutic conversations. Letting an unsupervised AI handle a real-time suicidal crisis is just massively dangerous.
A hallucination or a misunderstood nuance in that exact moment could literally be fatal.
Section 4. Ethics, Privacy, and Bias.
Now, what's really interesting about this is that beyond the immediate clinical risks, we face hidden systemic dangers. Why? Because AI is entirely shaped by the data it's fed. When we fuse an immense amount of data together, we're talking voice recordings, facial expressions, ECGs, just to assess someone's stress level, we run into serious trouble if that training data is culturally biased. It can actively worsen existing health disparities without anyone even realizing it's happening. Furthermore, so many of these consumer chatbots operate merely as completely unregulated wellness products. You've got users pouring out their deepest, darkest traumas to apps, operating in the absolute wild west of data privacy. We really have to step back and ask ourselves, where's all that highly sensitive personal data actually going?
Section 5. The Future of Blended Care.
So with an overwhelming need for help on one hand, and these severe risks on the other, where do we actually go from here? Well, the CME Group review states it perfectly. The goal must be augmented intelligence, not artificial replacement. This right here is the core concept of blended care. Imagine a highly efficient system where the AI steps in to handle the 2 a.m. triage, the daily mood tracking, and those routine check-ins. By offloading these low-risk, high-frequency tasks, we actually free up our human therapists to do what only human beings can do: handle deep, complex trauma, navigate incredibly nuanced relational issues, and form genuine, empathetic therapeutic alliances. It's really about building a layered ecosystem of care where AI is a powerful tool, but not the entire toolbox. But as we stand on the brink of this whole new era of blended care, we are left with a deeply philosophical question. When an AI chatbot says, "I understand exactly how you feel," we know logically it's just producing a statistically likely string of words. It doesn't actually comprehend human pain. But if a machine can perfectly simulate empathy, and if that simulation successfully pulls a stressed-out college student out of a depressive spiral at 2 in the morning, does it really matter that the machine can't actually feel? It's a profound thought, isn't it? One that really challenges our very definition of what connection and care even mean.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe.